And good morning, everybody. Welcome to Mornings in Meridian. It is the two best hours of local live talk radio here in East Mississippi, West Alabama. Glad you're here, part of it, whether you're joining us by tuning in to 102.1 FM or tuning in, streaming in at WALTmeridian.com, or if you're on Facebook or YouTube, on our nice app that you could get right on your phone, WALT app. If you haven't got it yet, get it now. But we're glad you're here. I want to thank the guys for letting me come back in and drive the bus again today. I'm Roger B. Say hi to Rob Atkinson.
Oh, thank you very much. It's just a wonderful morning. Glad to be with you. It's great. It's wonderful.
Rob Trump Atkinson here.
Great show this morning. One of my favorite shows that I watch all the time. Great city, Meridian. You know.
Sorry. Well, you do the Trump, I'll do the Biden. Here's my Biden impression.
There you go. Charles Frazier. There it is.
That's it. All right, good. Sorry, I fell asleep. Anyway, dozed off for a minute.
And he just scared the engineers like, are we on the air?
What's wrong with this thing?
Are we off air?
Are we on? Yes, anyway.
I guess, yeah. I guess the Biden impersonation. So, where is Samoa?
Just kind of mumble for a little bit, and then that's it.
Yeah. Where
say something unintelligible.
Where is Samoa?
I just got one question this
morning.
Samoa,
is that a cookie?
Who the hell is Jason Palmer?
I think everybody's asking the same. They're asking it in Samoa, too. I mean,
who is that guy? I'm serious.
I want to know who the undecided is. I mean, who is that? The none of the above.
Yeah.
They got a lot of votes in the Democratic
The
primary.
non-committed candidate.
Oh, non-committed.
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah.
Happy to be here with you guys after Super Tuesday.
Super.
And thank you for indulging me a little bit yesterday when I called in, talked about our good friends down there at Wilson.
Yeah, absolutely.
Outdoor Power. Thanks for that.
Now, the open house is Saturday, right?
No, they just had it yesterday.
Oh, had it yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I was, yeah.
I wouldn't listen to it either when he called. So who's that guy? What's he talking about?
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
RESPECT.
Took a little break at that time. I was like, right.
The hits just keep on coming.
Keep on coming. That's
Never
all
stop.
right. I'm going to do like Nikki Haley. I'm just going to shake it off. All the attacks and all she's going to. Well, she's going to.
But you're not resigning, are you?
No.
You're not quitting. Okay.
Shake it off.
Clarifying what you meant by Nikki Haley. Yeah.
Well, I guess at 9 o'clock today, she's going to have a little something to say. At 9 o'clock Central Time, she's going to have a little something to say to the country about, I guess, not running for president anymore. Is that what you understand, gentlemen?
Yeah, the Wall Street Journal broke the news early this morning, and actually the decision came pretty late last night. They said I think it was right after midnight is when the campaign finally made that decision, and it's a foregone conclusion at this point after the overwhelming numbers that came in last night. She did win Vermont last night, but when you look at the numbers of all these other states, especially Texas, California, Virginia, North Carolina, just overwhelming wins for President Trump as he charges ahead. He is basically the presumptive nominee now, going ahead. But they said it's not going to be a long speech this morning, so just a few minutes maybe at most.
I like the headline where it said Nikki Haley to announce her, ceasing her run for the office.
Suspension. It's always a suspension.
And then also that not to endorse Trump. There was also that message, not going to endorse Trump
today.
Not today, yeah. Maybe later. Let's just let him sweat a little bit. Anyway,
I don't think he's too concerned about her endorsement
either. Honestly, I don't think he is either.
I just, oh my goodness.
It's just wonderful. It was big wins last night. Thank you. I love Melania. I love this whole country. It's wonderful.
You can be part of the show here at Mornings in Meridian. A lot to talk about today on the national scene, on the local scene. We'll be talking a little bit about the $200,000 you said, Rob, is going to go to the police department.
Yep.
So we'll talk
about
about
it's already
that.
there.
Well,
They're
it's
moving
transferring it,
Right.
Well,
switching it out this hand, nobody knows.
It's a couple of key strokes, and
the shell game.
That's it. But let's take a phone call here at Mornings in Meridian and say hi to our caller. Good morning. Welcome to our show.
You're right. There's a whole lot to talk about today.
Oh, you darn right.
Good morning, Mr. J. Slade.
Haley, the water situation, the line item transfer of the police department, fires in Texas, AT&T down, Facebook, Instagram down.
Where do you want to start, Jimmy?
The big sell-off. Well, let's start with Nikki Haley.
All right.
And I commend her for dropping out, but I encourage her now to do what she said she was going to do to get on the debate stage. And that was endorse and support the eventual winner of the party.
Yeah.
Now, that's what she needs to do, and I encourage her to do that.
Does she need to do it this morning?
Yes.
I think so.
Absolutely.
Agree with that.
Absolutely. She needs to do it. If she's going to drop out, she needs to immediately, in the same speech, endorse and say, I'm going to endorse the nominee for the Republican Party, and I'm going to support him and encourage my supporters to do so.
And you know what's interesting about Jimmy is throughout this whole process, I remember when she raised her hand on the debate stage, because they asked that question, and of course, basically all of the candidates, I think for the most part, did raise their hand, but there's one person that did not sign that pledge, and well, guess what? He is the presumptive nominee now, and that is President Trump. And Nikki Haley on the campaign trail the last few days has been saying, you know, the RNC is changing, obviously, and she's trying to go back on her word a little bit, but I'm kind of like you. You signed the pledge no matter what Trump has done. Take Trump off the table. We know he didn't sign the pledge. I mean, if you want to call that sour grapes on your part, that's it. But if you want to be a woman of your principle and stick to your word, I think it would be in her best interest to go ahead and heal the wounds today. But she said what the Wall Street Journal is reporting is that she is not going to endorse him today, is what's being reported. So.
And those people that supported her, I cannot imagine them either not voting or voting for Biden. I really can't. I mean, it just makes no sense whatsoever. But well said, Rob. But let me change gears here a minute. The city's considering signing a contract with a company to handle the water and wastewater or whatever for the city, $150,000 a month. Now, the guy that retired, was he making that kind of money?
I don't know what his salary was. That's a lot of money per month.
I'm looking for a job.
Created this situation. I mean, you know, I'd say bring him out of retirement and give him a raise.
Yeah.
But just a thought there.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Well, for 2 months of those, I bet you could find one of the best guys in the country to manage that. $300 a year. I would think. I mean, yeah. I mean, as opposed to $150,000 a month, if you
That's
take 2 or 3,
a month,
but if you take 2 or 3,000 or 2 or 3 months of that salary and hire the best guy in certainly in the region to manage that, then presumably it depends what the contract involves.
Yeah.
You know, how many people and that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
But I'm sure it's just not one man. At least I hope
One
not.
other thing, are you guys aware of the big sell-off
In Wall Street.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bezos,
Yeah.
Walton family. I mean, it's unreal
Right.
what's going on. And
Tesla, Big Seven.
but you know, I've got cooler heads that tell me that that's something that happens. You know, but it's just kind of scary when those folks start dumping their stock. You know.
Well, what's surprising was that came on the same day as the day after the Supreme Court decision, which kind of ensured that Trump would be the candidate, and of course Super Tuesday. So you would think that there'd be a lot more confidence in the market with a potential Trump, victory in November. So we'll see. We'll see what happens the next couple of days, and there may be other reasons behind it. So I don't know what those are. I think we all would. You know, anybody who has stocks, but
I'm wondering if there's other things behind it, but it is kind of interesting. But and one other thing, I'll leave you guys alone. But these fires in Texas. This AT&T problem that we had, the Meta problem we had yesterday. Yeah, man, it's just kind of interesting. I guess would be the word, but a lot of questions about all that.
My question is why is it when Facebook goes down? Why is that a problem? I think that's kind of a blessing.
Yeah.
Well, you're right. You are
terminology there, but hey, whatever.
You my man.
You are right, Charles.
What am I
gonna do? The thing about it is, it affects so many people. I mean, Instagram and Facebook.
Oh gosh.
Read a book. Yeah, I know it.
You wonder if there's not some type of conspiracy going on.
Yeah, we said yesterday up here at the station when Facebook went down, we're actually going to have to talk to each other now. What is this?
Well, I used to think that, rioting and pandemonium and all that good stuff would happen when people are starving and can't eat, but it's actually going to happen when they can't access Facebook and use their devices.
Well, they can't fight on Facebook anymore. Maybe they'll actually physically fight. Or maybe they'll realize, hey, wait a minute, I don't like this confrontation. I'm not going to do it.
You think millions of people in this country are addicted to something other than drugs or alcohol?
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
It's just a drug by another name, that's all.
All right, my time's up. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you for the phone call.
We didn't even mention Haiti when we're talking about problems.
We also made the joke yesterday. I was like, you see, we never had this problem with MySpace. Never had that problem with MySpace. Tom had it figured out, man.
MySpace.
Never had MySpace.
One thing
I don't have any space now, for that matter. But anyway.
One thing we're addicted to in this country is having a good automobile to drive.
Yeah.
And so I tell you right now, a good place to go. And just remember, not all Toyota dealerships are created equal. Why not just take the short drive up to Philadelphia and say hi to the folks at Doc's Toyota?
Very friendly folks over there. They are 5-star service all around, whether that's in sales and servicing your vehicle or whatever that's going to be. You not only can take the drive up there, you can just drive on in on the internet and go to docstoyota.com. Check out all of their 2024 inventory. They've got Camrys, Tacomas, 4Runners, Tundras, Highlanders, Corollas, you name it. If Toyota makes it, they've got them up there at Doc's, and they've got plenty of them as well. Lots to choose from. Of course, they have a huge...
It's wonderful.
That's a wonderful selection of pre-owned inventory. All been through the rigorous multi-point Toyota inspection process, so you know you're getting a good quality used vehicle. Check them out online, docstoyota.com. You can even buy the vehicle online or just take the short drive up to Philadelphia and see them at Doc's. And you know, all car dealerships have deals. They got a deal for this, deal for that. They're wheeling and dealing. Well, I'll tell you what. There is no deal like a Doc's deal.
Got some comments on Facebook over here. Miss LaWanda said, we're talking about the water situation. She says, well, another big increase in water bills.
Yeah.
And then Cynthia over on YouTube says about Facebook, they do not have a life. Pretty simple.
Mornings in Meridian. Let's take a phone call here at 601-485-9191. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Roger. How are you?
Hey, good to hear from you, Senior Chief. Welcome back.
Well, two things. TDS is real. TDS is not total dissolved solids in your water because I'm a water operator, right? It means Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah.
It is real, and I am amazed at how it affects so many people because, there were some things I didn't like about Trump, the way he talks, but as far as getting things done, he's the bomb, so put him back in there and let him get this monkey straightened out.
I like what one Fox commentator said this morning. I heard it. And I said, that's exactly right. They've tried everything with these court, these court cases and these indictments and all these things, and they use the word victimology. Americans are sensitive to this victimology, and they're sensing that Trump is exactly that. He's just a victim of a very, very corrupt system.
I taking a look, I could cover so many subjects, but victimology is what was that old thing I seen on that Facebook one time? Is strong men make for good times make for weak men make for bad times. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So when these people are all so wrapped around the axle, they can't look at their little electronic thing or they don't like what Trump said. There's a greater threat out there. I done been out there and been around the world and seen things. And for people that don't think we got it good, they need to go yonder and live in India. How about that? Let's send them to India and live in that kind of society, and they might learn to appreciate the United States of America. Heck, just send them to Mexico, man. I done been down there too. And there's places in Mexico you go and places you don't go. So sort of like Chicago.
If I went to Mexico, I'd like to just sit there and watch all the Chinese that are coming through to come to our border.
Right.
Little counter.
All the military age guys. Yeah, you know there's trouble waiting on us, Roger.
It's actually, we joke about it, but it's frightful.
It's coming.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The second issue is the subjects. There was a great many covered. You realize that a large majority of our populace has never not a day in their life that they have not had the internet or, that kind of computer stuff to look at. The young kids don't know what it's like to go have a dirt clod fight, or go out and play with corn cobs or sticks or wade in the creek. They don't do anything but sit there and look at that stupid screen.
Or
and
let's see.
And wonder why they're so physically unfit they can't even run around themselves.
They don't even know what it's like shoot BB guns at each other.
Oh, well, now they ain't going to tell on that, because my daddy, he didn't like it. But we did it.
I'm sorry. I don't. For the young people going to school listening, I didn't know that never happened.
Right.
What?
Oh, not once. See, that's the truth. If I say not once, it's the truth. How many times I can't answer that, but not once, for sure.
Yeah.
But, just listening to the Trump derangement syndrome and these people wrapped around the axle about the dumbest things on the face of this earth, just come on, get your head. There's some rectal cranial inversion there that needs to be corrected. And that's a polite way of saying it. I mean, I hope you didn't mute me out, did you?
No, I didn't mute I didn't do what you said.
I didn't mute or anything else.
But let me just kind of pick your brain a little bit, because you are a person who has an expertise in water and sewer maintaining and that kind of thing.
They could hire me. I might go do that job, but they're going to have to pay me.
Yeah.
What all is involved with a city like Meridian as far as having to have sewer and water all kind of supervised and meeting the criteria and meeting the degree?
As a supervisor, your biggest problem is going to be keeping the Indians happy, and that being a term for your crew. First thing they should do is if, instead of spending $150,000 a month, break that up and give these people a little bit of a pay raise first, because then you're not necessarily buying loyalty, but you will make them be more loyal for the pay, if that's the way you want to put it. There's the post-production is the problem. The city of Jackson, according to my contacts at MSDH, say that they lose between 60 and 70% of the water they pump and treat is lost through a bad infrastructure, leaks, etc.
Wow.
60 to 70, and you wonder why their water bills are so high. If you don't take care of that infrastructure, it's going to cost you in the long run. You might be able to kick that can or ride that mule to the end of the road, but there's a coming time you're going to get off in the mud, and it's as simple as that. These folks they don't have any foresight. They don't plan past the end of their nose. Let's fix the problem by throwing money at it, and that is the dumbest thing you can do. Fix the problem.
There you go, fix the problem. Well, one other thing. Well, yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying, Meridian, I think they're running around 10 million a day, and they're still using chlorine gas. We got rid of that stuff up on the base here because of the bloom reports and the danger inherent with it. We use regular bleach right now.
Okay.
Actually, not regular bleach. We use 10.5%, which is pretty nasty. But
so the potable water that comes through from faucets does have the chlorine in it, obviously, to kill anything that might be harmful to us.
It's called free and total, and depending conceptually, if you had a level 10 bleach in your in your water, and you had five negative, or bugs we call them, you have a free of 5. Your total is 10, but your free is 5. So,
well, there's got to be so much more involved with this thing to have to require a company to be paid $150,000 a month. I mean, there's
mismanagement is the monkey that throws the wrench into everything. Usually, I don't know that. I wouldn't dare say that because I don't know it, but that's in my experience. Like, for example, you want to hire a guy to come in and take over, you almost have to restructure to be able to fix how do you want to say it, any problems. Now the guy that retired, he was a great guy. I knew him very well, and he does a good job. But sometimes you're fighting the bosses, and you basically have to scrap over every penny. And politicians tend to, well, it's working fine. Why do you want to mess with it? You mess with it because it's supposed to be, corrected or fixed now before it produces that long-term problem.
Gotcha.
It would be like Charles runs the restaurant thing, right? I mean, if he forgot to put in an order for beef, there's going to be a lot of people mad when they come in for a steak.
Yep.
Got to be handled.
So you have to use foresight, and sometimes our elected officials fail in that regard because it's so expensive, but I want to remind everybody the human body starts breaking down after about 3 days of no water. You want to hear a hit dog? You know what a hit dog is in the water industry?
What's a hit dog?
Hit dog is where if you don't know where a valve goes, you turn it off. In about 30 minutes, that hit dog gonna holler.
Right.
Where does this line go? I don't know.
Yeah,
Close
Turn it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you get the call. I got no water.
How do you think I determined all of the lost valves here on the base?
Boy, there you go.
I've hit dog it. I turn it off and see who screams.
Hit dog.
And I'll assure you, when it comes to water, when you can't flush a toilet or wash your hands, can't take a sip of water, trust me, that dog is gonna howl.
Oh, I guarantee you. Well, also, on your honor, before we let you go, I just want to let you know that it's on this day in 1942 that two cruisers and a cruiser and a destroyer, the Villa and the Munda,
Those
sank two Japanese destroyers in the Solomon Islands. Oh, well, actually, I guess the Villa and the Munda were the destroyers that were sunk.
Munda is an island.
Yeah.
You sure the action wasn't off of Munda?
Oh, maybe that's it. See, that's why I'm asking you. You have to call back and give me some good naval history.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what is this? This is
actually
March,
they had two ships there. They were called the Villa and the Munda, and we had U.S. cruisers destroy those ships. That's what they were. Those were Japanese ships.
Okay. I'd have to. Well, let's see. The March of '42. That's the beginning of the campaign in the Philippines, basically the Java Sea.
Anyway.
Okay. All
I
right.
just had to throw that at you because you always beat me to naval history, and I just wanted to throw that at you.
Well, I didn't call about naval history.
I know you didn't. I know you didn't. And we got to take a break. Senior Chief, thank you for checking in with us.
You have a good day, sir.
Okay. Mornings in Meridian. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Fox News.
Going to
That was a happy little song that they produced back in the 70s. That was Elton John and Kiki D. Remember Kiki D?
Sir Elton.
She's
Kiki
D is 77 years old today.
That's the first time I've ever heard the name.
Well, I'm glad we could take you back through some good nostalgia from the 70s.
Yeah.
There you go.
Great.
The 1970s. Yeah. Hey, let's see. Other birthdays include David Gilmour of Pink Floyd is 78 today. And let's see. Tom Arnold, the actor, 65.
Oof.
Yeah, there you go.
Gosh, he was married to Roseanne once upon a time.
That's exactly what how he puts it, too. That's exactly how he remembers
Used to be.
He saw her singing that national anthem that time. He's like, what have I done?
You remember the Abbott and Costello duo from the 20th century?
Who's on first? What's on second?
Yeah, well, Lou Costello was born this day in 1906. A little fast fact: he met Bud Abbott in St. Joe, Missouri, while he was hitchhiking home during the Great Depression.
Huh.
And they became official team in 1936. Made 36 films between 1940 and 1956, becoming one of the most popular and highest-paid entertainers in the world during World War II. So, wow.
Who's on first?
I guess it pays to hitchhike.
I guess it can, yeah. That's right.
Well,
Depends who picks you up, really.
Well, you go ahead and try it and come back and tell us how it goes.
Okay, maybe back in the 30s.
Back in those days, not today.
Maybe back in the 30s it paid to hitchhike. So glad you're out there, folks. Want you to be part of our show, 601-485-9191. But we want you to be part of our Jeffrey Wilson fan club.
That's right.
Like a good neighbor.
Neighbor!
I said neighbor.
Everybody needs a good neighbor. And Jeffrey Wilson, of course, is one. And here's the deal. When you combine your State Farm, home, and auto insurance, you save an average of $889.
Oh, yeah.
Not too shabby.
Good stuff.
Call Jeffrey Wilson today. He'll help you combine your home and auto and save right here in Meridian. 601-483-8253 is his number. Of course, just go down and see him. He's a friendly guy. He's got great coffee as well. He's always wearing khakis. He's at 2401 Highway 39 North. He'll sit down with you once a year, kind of evaluate all your insurance needs, see what you're paying for that you don't need, and maybe where you need to add coverage as well, because everybody needs good coverage, and State Farm has the best. And like a good neighbor, Jeffrey Wilson is there for you.
I think I saw him in blue jeans at the ball field.
I don't think it happened. It didn't happen.
Oh, okay.
Always khakis.
Oh, yeah.
Always khakis.
They were like khaki jeans.
Khaki jeans.
I'm not sure. Anyway, 2401 Highway 39 North. You know where he is. Give him a call, 601-483-8253. That's Jeffrey Wilson, State Farm.
Yeah, guys, going back into this water situation, just kind of going back with some details. Basically, they have tabled this issue is what they did yesterday at the council meeting because they were wanting to do a 12-month contract with the engineering firm. Basically, the council, of course, Mr. Norwood is the president of the council. Basically, the understanding I get from his quotes here on WTOK is that they kind of want to go through the situation, kind of better understand this $150,000 per month, because during the 30-day trial run that they had, I guess to kind of patch it up in the temporary, it was $100,000. Now it's $150,000. You had the one individual retire, and I think his big thing is they want to try to train folks that are existing within the water department to maybe get up to speed on to fill that position, I'm assuming. But Jimmy Smith was a little, I don't know if he was upset yesterday, but he was hoping to get the 3 votes to go ahead and do this because, guys, let's face it, if you don't get your water situation figured out, well, we could end up being another Jackson right here.
Well, but fair enough. But the way that it's being described is that we're training people for $2 million annually. We're going to train some people to run the water department. And it's kind of like, can we not find a cheaper way to do that, a better way to do that, a more cost-effective way to do that? And it just seems like a lot of money just for personnel. Now, if there's equipment involved and some repairs that are being made as well, which I don't think it is, but I mean, am I wrong here? But it sure seems like a lot of money just for some personnel and maybe almost a consulting thing.
Now, Wagner has been here with the...
they've done a lot of work, and nothing to disparage them. I mean,
working with the consent decree and that kind of thing.
Yeah, the quote here at the very bottom of the article from Norwood, it says, now we're trying to hire the company to run the water, talking about the engineering firm, and we have those same people that were running it while he was there, talking about the individual that retired there from the water department. Of course, Jimmy Smith went on to say, he said, "I have no clue why we didn't get 3 votes today. I really don't, and this is an important issue to me," is what he said when he was reached out by WTOK yesterday. But they're going to table this. I guess they're going to bring it up in the work session next Tuesday, and we'll see where the contract goes from there. But it was a tabled issue yesterday that was on the agenda. So,
well, but now Public Works, if I recall, their budget was 14, 15 million, something
along those lines. Yeah.
So you're looking at 10% of their whole budget going to this. And so that's a pretty significant portion.
Yeah.
And of course, there is the consent decree. So presumably this also makes us compliant with that. But it just seems like a lot of money, $150,000 a month. Would you take that job, Roger?
That's like
for a couple of months anyway.
That's like a week.
Like 6 months.
That's like a week's revenue in the restaurant business, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's bust open the books and see.
No.
Right.
So, but basically, this is we're at a stalemate right now, and we'll see what happens with it. Okay. But it was a tabled issue, and the mayor, I don't think, was real happy that the 3 votes didn't happen to get it approved. So.
Well, I wish we had more information as far as what does
this entail?
I mean, exactly. Yeah, what exactly are they doing for that $150,000 a month?
But the one thing, and this is we always talk about the rates going up. Is this a guarantee that the rates would go up, or is this all within the existing framework?
Well, I think with the current state of the entire system, whether that's wastewater or freshwater, then which needs to be repaired, then we are looking at rate increases over the next 10, 15, 20 years anyway, because the infrastructure is kind of crumbling.
And everybody goes, yay, higher water bills.
Would be yay. It's exciting.
What I'd like to do is get cameras and put them at all the places where all the water pipes are leaking around the city.
Yay,
maybe we have a drone. We have a drone.
Drone could fly through there, yeah.
More cameras. Need more cameras in this town.
So we could watch the water leak. Instead of just paying for it.
Go to the police station. They're going to have plenty of them down there.
Yeah, well, the 200. They did get the transfer of the $200,000 for the cameras. We talked about them. Was it last week or week before last? We were talking about these cameras.
Yeah, basically yesterday they approved
upgrading
the $200,000 transfer within the police budget from. The personnel services over into special projects because they're going to do some upgrades or want to do upgrades down at the police station. Of course, we all know this stems from the February 1st shooting that happened with the person that was in custody that got their hands on a gun, shot the officer. But camera's obsolete. There's a lot of equipment down there that they want to upgrade and whatnot. But just got a texter that wrote me. It says, just do a bond issue to take care of the water situation.
Oh, we could vote at
bond issue.
We could vote at the schools.
You voted the schools, yay!
No, the only precinct will be the water department. That's
yeah, City Hall.
Where is that? Water.
You have to go to the water.
Go down to wastewater. That's where. Yeah.
So, but yeah, we had no doubt about the transfer money that would get approved, and it did yesterday.
It did get approved. Okay, and it also involved, I think, some security issues as well, as far as and so on. So. But it's kind of like the horse left the barn at that point, why close the door? And I think that we talked about it the other day as well, that a lot of it seemed to be procedural issues as opposed to security issues. And so maybe it would be a little more of a focus on training and procedure and that sort of thing.
I think invest on holsters
but
with
snaps
on them.
The safety of the officers is paramount. So, I think that if we can ensure that, then if that would ensure it, then that's important. So,
We'll just wait on the next grand jury report to come out.
We'll wait on that.
Well, because you know what's going to be said in there.
Second verse, same as the first.
Yes, right. Exactly.
All right.
Well, we could use a little bit of that money for training as they said, train police officers to do. I mean, and nothing. Here's the thing about it. For all of you police officers out there,
working hard.
Don't want to appreciate you putting your uniform on and getting out there. Yeah. Don't want to make you upset. Especially if you happen to see a little expedition driving by.
A white one. Yeah.
No, that's it's
expired tags.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
What?
No seatbelt on.
Speaking of tag, no, I
probably
appreciate
throwing
that. But it is no fault of yours if you have not been trained properly in crime scene, handling of this type of thing. You might be able to handle a car accident real well, but then as far as going into a crime scene, you may not be able to.
Well,
If
not
you have
only
it that way.
if you weren't trained properly, but if those procedures are not enforced within the department, and that may be more of the issue.
There you
is
go.
that,
So-
you know, even though you know what to do, they don't necessarily say, "Hey, this is the protocol that you must follow, regardless of how safe you think it is or anything else."
Yeah,
So,
we could put on a uniform and all the equipment, but if somebody shows us exactly how to do it right, then we're not going to know.
but then hold you to task and say you must do it right this way, because you know, sometimes things get lax and security gets lax and so on. And when you get into a routine, then you know, it's fine, just do it that way, and then that's when things like that happen, when you don't follow the proper kind of prescribed procedure.
This is
to the letter.
protocol. You got to follow the protocol.
Right.
You get that first night on the street, and you're like, oh, new officer, I'm ready to go. And then reality hits. It's like that first tough situation. I mean, I think you know, we've all been in there. You know, you get into something new, you get the, you know, all the training you think you can possibly get, but until you get into that situation, you just have no idea. So,
Sure. And yeah, no, it's a tough job.
Yeah,
I mean,
you know, I have a
and-
lot, and that's why I said I saw an officer a few days ago.
Sure.
Just pumping gas, walked up and say appreciate you, and it was
Much
a
respect to anybody who
young
does
Meridian
something.
police officer, and you know, they're doing what they can. So, and it was brought up yesterday too. They are understaffed big time. That was quoted yesterday at the city council meeting. They are about 30 staff positions down right now. And I say staff, and I use that as a broad brush because we don't know if that includes within the department, on the street, what it might be, but they are severely understaffed. So, and a lot of people look at that, oh, they're moving money out of what they would use to hire officers. Well, how long we've been talking about hiring officers, and we still haven't hired them.
Let's see, I've been 16 years on this show. I know that long.
It's been a while.
I've been on we've been talking about it for that long.
So,
But the another problem within the department is not only are they unable to hire the appropriate amount, but we're also seeing a lot of attrition, whether that's retirement or people moving to other departments. And so really the question is, why are we not able to keep those on staff? Is it a salary issue? Is it work condition issue?
yeah.
I mean, you know, kind of what's going on. I think that some exit interviews and why not make that public as far as why people are leaving the department? You know, we need to know.
morale, pay.
Morale could be an issue, could be pay, could be equipment, training. I mean, a variety of other things, better opportunities. I mean, you know.
Inquiring
Anyway.
minds want to know.
You want to know.
Well, I'll tell you what, inquiring minds, while we're talking about the city's responsibility when it comes to water and sewer, once you get past the meter, it's on your property, and then all of a sudden it's on you. So all the water that's coming through the meter into your house needs to flow in the right direction and not surface until necessary, and usually it's not necessary.
Never surface.
So just to make sure that your plumbing's working good, or if it doesn't work good, guess what? Barber and Son Plumbing, they've been taking care of plumbing needs for, 80 years or plus?
Oh, it's like
Third
200
generation?
200 years at this point.
Okay,
I don't even know how long it is. It's,
70, 80, 200.
I don't know.
Long
It's
time.
A long time.
But they're
Long,
the
long, long
reliable, when it comes to plumbing, Barber and Son Plumbing, they know their stuff. In fact, Gary Barber, if you just walk in there with the part, take a picture of the part or take a picture of the problem, he can tell you how to fix it, to get you the parts to fix it, and tell you a good story along the way.
That's right, and he won't charge you $150,000 a month. Pretty sure that's not his going rate.
I'm pretty sure.
Probably should be, though, because the man is an expert, a veritable genius of plumbing.
Genius of plumbing.
He is the Albert Einstein of the plumbing world.
Einstein of the plumbing world.
Einstein, exactly. Barber and
agree.
Sons Plumbing, 1123 26th Avenue. Give them a call, 601-482-7023. They'll come to your home, your business, or just bring the part to them, and they've got them all in stock. They'll show you how to repair it, as you said, and tell you a good story to boot. Can't beat it. Barber and Sons Plumbing.
It's Mornings in Meridian, where we want you to be part of our show. So we put our number out there bravely, 601-485-9191. When we come back, we can take care of some more of the discussions about either the the cameras or the water or the election, the Super Tuesday election, the results. How did it go for you out there?
It was a wonderful night.
We've got our own Donald Trump here with his
Wonderful.
nice subdued speech there.
Yes, we have.
It
to,
was subdued,
We have to unite.
We can talk about that subdued speech that he gave. That'd be good. We'll be right back. Stay with us. I'm Roger, he's Rob, and he's Charles, and that's the way our parents intended it to be. Welcome back. David Gilmour from Pink Floyd, 78 years old today. So happy birthday to all those old rockers out there, huh? And, of course, born on this day, the late Bob Wills of Texas, the Texas Playboys. Great musician there. Other birthdays, let's see, looking down the list there, we always talked about Tom Arnold, who turned 65. And born on this day was TV personality. Here's Ed McMahon.
Hey!
Yes, so happy birthday if the 6th of March is your birthday. Roger here along with Rob and Charles. And we're having a great Wednesday. Glad to be back with you guys.
Absolutely.
It's like Super Wednesday.
Super Wednesday after Super Tuesday.
Absolutely.
So what do you think about Trump's speech last night? Rob, you were kind of making some gestures about it. And,
I mean, I watched it last night, and he got up on stage there at Mar-a-Lago it was about 9:15 our time last night. He spoke probably 10 minutes, maybe tops. Mm-hmm. It was no teleprompter. Just doing what Trump does, just speaking, off the cuff as usual.
Talking to the American people directly.
He talked a lot about issues, of course, talked about the border, talked a lot about national security. Never once, though, mentioned Nikki Haley. Did not mention her one time in the speech last night. I thought that was a good move on his part, not to mention Nikki Haley. Kind of leave that ball in her court, because we all kind of saw the writing on the wall as states were coming in last night. I mean, the Virginia one, I think that kind of set the bar early last night. Overwhelming there. North Carolina was overwhelming, and the avalanche started. And I think for him not to mention her kind of left the ball in her court to make your announcement, make your decision on what you're going to do, and we're going to have that later on this morning. So I thought that was a good move on his part not to mention her last night.
Well, it was an unusual move because he would have attacked her, and I'm surprised he didn't, and I'm pleasantly surprised that he didn't call for her to stop, and there's no reason, all that kind of stuff. It was a classy move, and it sort of, to me, indicated a shift in the way that he's conducting himself. Well, and I could be wrong about that, but it's a welcome shift where he doesn't need to disparage.
I always say people talk about, he talks so bad about people and all the rest. Remember, Trump is he's not in it just to be a pansy. If he's in competition, he's going to fight. And you may think, well, it's dirty or underhanded. No, he is in it to win it, whatever he does. And so, therefore, the battle he knows was over last night, even though he didn't hear from her.
She was on the mat. Yeah, I mean,
he knew the battle was over. So what does he do?
Right.
He throttles back. Says, "Okay, I've defeated this one."
But before, I think he would have, until she surrendered and said, "No, I'm out." Then I think he still would have attacked, and that's kind of
because the game's still on.
Exactly. Well, and you can justify it however you want. However, what I'm thinking is, or what I'm saying is that it's a welcome shift in the way that he was conducting himself. And I think it's one that we've expected and hoped for a long time. Yeah. And what he focused on, as Rob said, was the issues with not only Biden and the Democratic Party, but the direction of the country and kind of the cultural shift that we're undergoing. And he's saying, wait a minute. And it was more of a, not quite a make America great again, but let's take our country back. Let's return to who we are. Go back to our roots and the foundation of it and the fundamentals of what made this country great.
What he has is no presidential candidate that I can think of in my lifetime has had, and that is he's able to now just simply point to what the current president has undone that he did, the things that Trump put into place. All he has to do now is say, I did this before. This president undid all this, and now look where we are.
But I think it's even bigger than that, though, and that's my point, is that it goes beyond Biden. It goes into the defund the police, which Biden wasn't really a proponent of, but he didn't oppose it.
He had to appeal to his far left base there.
Well, exactly. So he just did nothing. He was kind of ambivalent and just took no action on it. And so that's the cultural shift that I'm talking about, that we've seen the country undergo, and now it's coming back on the other side saying, wait a minute, the pendulum's swinging back to people saying, this is what made us great. Why are we getting away from this? Why did we even think this was a good idea? And why did we let this small minority kind of control the agenda and the direction of the country?
There's 2 points after last night, I think, too, that we need to focus on. Who's to say that Haley and Trump did not speak potentially last night? Maybe it was early on in the night, and she may bring that up today. I don't know. We'll see what happened in that speech. I think it's going to be a short one, but who's to say that Trump and her did not speak, or their camps may have spoken at one point last night and said, hey, listen, Governor Haley is going to speak tomorrow. She's going to drop out, and Trump may have gotten word on that, and he was a little graceful on that. Maybe not, just saying that's a possibility. But the second thing is, Fox, Newsmax, CNN, they all focus on polls. We're going to have polls thrown in our face the next 8 months. But one poll last night that Fox really focused on, and it got my attention. 10% of Americans right now that were polled, and I think it was a CNN, New York Times, or CNN poll, one of the three there. 10% of folks that voted for Biden last night said, "I'm not voting for him again. I'm going to vote for Trump." That's 10% of people that said, "I voted for Biden. I'm going to vote for Trump this time." It's not a big number, but it's still significant enough. That should get the Democrats' attention in a big way.
So voters put Trump in his timeout 4 years ago, and now they're saying, okay, if you can,
it's not a big number,
behave,
but still is significant enough.
That's big enough.
And, of course,
on
the
the
African American support for Trump is going up. Hispanic numbers are going up. I mean, of course, you're going to hear the independent vote's going to be thrown out there, suburban women. I mean, it's going to be the same categories you always talk about in any general election, but the support is slowly growing for him in areas that you never would have thought, which is very so. But they said last cycle when Biden and Trump went against each other, Trump led in the head-to-head polling for 5 days. 5 total days in the last cycle. He has led just about every single day in polling this particular cycle when you go the hypothetical matchup head-to-head in a national polling. So a lot has changed in the last 3.5 years in a big way.
In a big way, and I guess to that, we owe a thanks to Joseph Biden.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
Former President Trump now has a clear path
right, everybody. Welcome back on this, it's for the second hour of the two best hours of local live talk radio. Right here in East Mississippi, West Alabama. And if you're listening to us from some other part of the country on our streaming services, welcome. We're glad you're out there. You're welcome to call in, too, to our station. Our number, by the way, is 601-485-9191. 601-485-9191. I'm Roger B., along with, say hi to our main man from Meehan, Mr. Rob Atkinson.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me come back and drive.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
And
just drive me where you need to.
we have our own Donald J. Trump here in our studio.
You're welcome. Good to be here.
Yeah, very
Yes.
calm and subdued there, Mr. President.
It was a good night. It was a good night.
You had a good victory, didn't you?
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
you not only did you take these states, but you took them handily.
Yes, very
Yes.
much. So. It's
Okay,
good.
except are you going to be visiting Vermont?
Oh,
anytime
we need a recount there. It's just unbelievable what happened up there. It's
Bernie. That's what happened.
They make great syrup there. It's
I
fantastic.
love the maple, sir. They're good trees. Yeah, Bernie
Right, yeah,
Sanders.
trees,
That's
yeah.
his country.
Bernie
Trees are
Sanders.
probably the voters.
We don't care about that. Yeah.
Bernie who?
And of course, here's the voice of Charles Frazier.
Good morning.
He's not afraid. Being in the restaurant business, he's not afraid to even recommend another restaurant. He's not shy because he knows there's good food waiting for you down at the Magnolia Restaurant at Queen City Truck Stop.
That's right, exit 150. We know where they are. And, of course, today's Wednesday. Ooh, we got chicken and dumplings.
Whoa.
I might just close and go over there today. Of course, I'm not. No, I'm just kidding.
What?
Hamburger steak with onions and gravies and fried or grilled pork chops. And they always got the veggie plates. And I tell you what, the coffee is hot. The service is great. You meet some friendly folks over there as well. And if you're going for breakfast, don't forget about that long haul breakfast. That'll keep you going all day long. Although don't forget about lunch either, because we just talked about that. And that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Lots of great offerings. If you want something to go,
Great offerings.
just give them a call. 601-482-0259. We'll get you in touch, and you can just order that plate and go by and pick it up at exit 150, the Magnolia Restaurant inside the Queen City Truck Stop.
It's Mornings in Meridian. We welcome you to be part of our show here at 601-485-9191, 601-485-9191. And, of course, we're about an hour away from Nikki Haley coming up and speaking there in Charleston, South Carolina. And what is she going to say? And just from our little corner of the world here in East Mississippi, in West Alabama, what do you think she needs to say in an hour?
Well, I think what she's going to say, obviously, is going to be the basic meat and potatoes you would always expect in a speech to suspend a campaign. She'll thank her supporters, donors, family, and whatnot. And I will
I'm
say,
going to continue to fight.
and I'm going to continue to fight for my party. Da 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 da. It's just the basic nuts and bolts like you always hear. But I will say one thing for
You
Nikki.
could write the speech.
It's it's in file 2 under section whatever. But I will say one thing for her on the campaign trail. Her husband is in the military too, and is serving as overseas, and she's been having to basically do this without him by her side, and that hasn't been talked a good amount of time with Nikki Haley since she's been out there on the campaign trail. But I will give her credit for one thing. She did break some glass ceiling in a couple of different areas. She won a state last night. A woman has done that now in the Republican Party. I mean, she won the District of Columbia, and I thought she ran a good campaign. It's just she just did not appeal to I'm never going to get off the Trump train. And I think she just ran up against a machine that is growing so big now and so tough. And the party, and Charles and I were talking about this during the break, these two parties, Republican and Democrat, they have fundamentally changed so much over the years. And you just look at the change just within the past, 5 years of how they have changed. The Republican Party has become more working class, more populist now, and a good chunk of the Democratic Party has become so progressively left, so far left. And that's a part. It's just all over the map right now, and it's very interesting from a political aspect of how fundamentally different these parties have changed over the years.
So Charles, what does she need to say tonight?
Well,
today,
and we
this
talked about
morning.
that. I think that my initial response was no, she doesn't need to mention Trump. I know that Jimmy and Rob have talked about that, and upon reflection, in a week or so, she's going to be irrelevant, and so she needs to address everything today in the speech. She does need to endorse Trump. She does need to obviously thank her support and make her usual we want the country forward, blah blah blah, consistent with the kind of the Republican Party agenda. But I do think that she needs to acknowledge Trump, and she does need to say, and I will support the candidate. She doesn't have to have a love fest with him. She doesn't need to say, and he's a wonderful man, and I've always loved him, and all that kind of stuff. That's not necessary. But she can say, for the best interest of the party and the country, then I'm throwing my support behind him, and I encourage all of my supporters to follow him as well. Or
Take
to
a
support
page
him.
out of Ron DeSantis' book,
Yeah.
what he did back in January. I know he didn't do this big speech and everything like that was on the cable channels and whatnot. He did just a little social media drop. But he said, you know what? I see the writing on the wall. It's not there. I support President Trump. We got to move ahead. If she does that today, that would earn a lot of brownie points, I think, with a lot of folks. But according to her camp, she's not going to do that today. I think that would be kind of a sore mistake because I think this is her last chance to be in the spotlight, so to speak, with a lot of eyeballs on her today for these few minutes. And if she doesn't do that, that is going to be I think it's going to be a failed opportunity for her.
And what she needs to remember is that even though she had some differences with Donald Trump as far as policy and a variety of other issues as well, fundamentally, they're in the same party.
Sure,
and they want to move the country in the same direction. And so, as opposed to the direction that we're currently going in and would go if the Democrats are reelected in November. And so she needs to embrace the movement, the direction of the party, and say, okay, even though there's some subtle differences where we disagree, and even some fundamental things, but overall, this is where we want to be, and this is how we move the country forward, and this is in the best interest of this nation to be united as a party.
Sure.
And you can acknowledge you exchanged barbs, and there's things said on the campaign trail. There always has been. This is nothing new in America.
But don't take it personally. That's the thing.
When Trump and Ted Cruz, you remember that got really dirty. I mean, really. I mean, they're talking about each other's wives.
And boy, Ted Cruz handily handled his race last night.
Yeah. So but here's the last thing. I know we got a call on the line here, but I think Nikki Haley needs to understand this party has changed. It's not the old establishment party. And I think a lot of the voters, when they looked at Nikki Haley, she represents that old establishment, that old establishment party. And Trump is that part of the party that is changing toward that more blue collar,
The
that
steel
more,
workers.
Right? that type
really
of deal.
is.
Yeah, it's just changing. And I think that's why he strikes such a big chord with a lot of folks. So,
and he has been through the learning curve. He knows exactly what he's not going to do this time once he's elected, as opposed to what he did last time. He knows who to choose, how to navigate. He's now kind of seasoned when it comes to, okay, when I get to the White House, I know what I need to do.
Sure.
And so that's something that might be in the back of some people's minds. I don't know. Let's take a phone call here at 601-485-9191. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
Good morning. She needs to get out really quick. She needs to save face and get out quick.
Well, she's going to do that. Yeah, she's going to do that here in about 45 minutes. So,
look, too, I know Trump endorsed Wicker, but look, we need to get rid of these rhinos. I think people need to consider Colonel Burton. It's time for a change in Mississippi. I mean, I can't believe Trump endorsed Wicker because Wicker voted against the wall. So, the border. So, it's time to get McConnell and all these old rhinos out of office, period. It's time for us to start over. Let's get back in control of our nation. That's kind of where I stand, guys.
Yeah, I wish
I was Trump from Jump Street, but I'm not going back who he endorsed in Mississippi for senator. I'm just not going to do it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we tried to reach out to Mr. Burton a couple of different times to have him come on the show. We never heard back from him. So,
tell you what I'll do. I'll work on that for you.
Yeah, appreciate that. We tried, and we had Mr. Eubanks on.
I
We have
like
not-
it when
yeah.
we give listeners homework.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Your mission, should you decide. I mean, we're not desperately wanting him on. We're
Yeah.
just offering our.
Yeah.
We're just offering our.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, free
Station.
advertising.
That's right.
And what
That's
can you say? Yeah.
So if he doesn't
I
want
mean, he might even get a lunch down at Weidman's.
You might. Yeah.
Yeah.
we can always test. We can always test the smart politicians because they do come on this show.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, even
Okay.
even
Well,
Greg,
we've had some that weren't so smart. All right. Whatever.
morning. All right.
Yeah. Sure did.
We're not going to question the IQs, okay?
That's
Listen, guys, I'm
wise.
listening. I'll let somebody else call.
All right.
I never did like the fact that my IQ and my golf score are all about the same. Really, it's not
Ooh,
good.
that's not good.
And one's going up, one's going down. Won't say which one.
You're right.
Mornings in Meridian. Let's take another phone call. 601-485-9191. And good morning.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Hey,
Good morning.
my man on the street. I know you're happy today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And our main Rob from Meehan.
Yes, sir.
I like that helm. My main man from Meehan. Okay. Is that Meehan Junction?
Yes, sir. Meehan, Mississippi. That's where I'm from. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nice little area out there. Very, very nice.
I love it out there. We've lived out there my entire life. Families out there. We enjoy it. It's nice and quiet.
Well, that wouldn't be you out there with them goats running around in your yard, is it? That's
No,
you?
no. I know you're talking about, though.
Right. Okay. Hey.
Bah.
Well, listen, a couple things. For one, oh man, yeah, the president he really need to go ahead on and apologize to Miss Haley too about her husband. He really just need to say, I did not realize that your husband had been called up. I didn't realize that he was on duty. So he really need to apologize on that part.
Yeah,
and then, Mr. Go ahead, bro.
But he probably should have done that right then, not at this point in the game.
Well, I thought about it way back then, but I just thought I'd mention it again since she's bowing out.
Yeah.
Did Mr. Whitaker is it Whitaker or Wicker?
Wicker. Yeah,
Wicker.
Wicker.
Okay, so when he voted back then against the wall, has he learned his lesson or anything, or he's still holding to that?
Well, maybe he'll learn it if we don't vote for him at the.
Yeah, maybe he'll get a loud message next Tuesday.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm just hearing. I didn't realize that he voted against the wall. I'm saying, but lack of my understanding the reason some people did things that the reason they did them. But if they haven't learned to change now, since we see what's going on, yes, we got a real problem.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think, too, with the recent vote Mr. Wicker made with that bill, what was it, in the Senate, to do with funding for Ukraine, that he voted for that bill, and Sidney Hyde-Smith voted against it. And I think that got a lot of people's dander up a pretty good bit. And, of course, the wall that was just mentioned as well. So there's been when you go back and look at Mr. Wicker's voting record, it's very, when you call yourself a conservative, it's very puzzling in some of his votes.
Right. Well, that's good that y'all bring that out, and because all you see is those commercials, but the commercials say a different story. But I'm learning something now because me and my wife are discussing it. So that's a good point. And thank you. But listen, and my last thing here.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
If anyone know of any African American or black person who don't know how to get an ID, don't know how to use the internet, that we're so dumb or whatever that we don't know which way to go to the DMV. We can't use GPS according to the Mr. What's-her-name secretary that's in the pulpit of the black churches called out and said we are just too dumb.
Oh,
Black
let me tell you.
people are just too dumb. They don't know how to get an ID. They don't know how to get go on the internet. They are just dumb. Right in the pulpit, and then nobody give them a kickback on it.
Well, I'll tell you this. I've had employees, black employees, that knew their way around an iPhone a lot more than I do. They are much more savvy at accessing the internet than I am, and so it's not a matter of. I don't think it's a matter of intelligence. I think it's a matter of putting the time in to learn.
Well, no,
That's a different thing.
On the other part is just the pandering that they're doing in the black pulpit, and black folks are just sitting there and let them get away with it. Come on, black people, African Americans, why are you letting that guy call your people stupid and dumb and lazy? That shouldn't be allowed by y'all, but you're doing it because you're so sucked in with the left.
Well, I wonder how I'm really curious how the collections go in a church like that. How's the collections on that Sunday?
Man, it's just crazy, man. I'm telling you something. Y'all are lowering your standard. Black churches, you're letting the Democrat eat your lunch. Man. All right, well, we mentioned it. I just thought I'd bring that out, but hey,
our man on the street you've been always Trump, haven't you?
Oh yeah, man. Ain't nothing they can throw at him and make me change my mind. 'Cause like I say, the more they throw at him, I know what's right. 'Cause when you're doing the right thing, they coming at you, baby.
There you go.
Coming at you.
There you have it.
Love it.
Hey, thanks for the phone call. Good to hear from you.
We'll be listening in.
Thank you for doing that. 601-485-9191. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good
morning, Ruth.
Good morning, Ruth.
Gosh, I have got to meet man on the street. I don't know if he comes to the pancake breakfast or not, but I can identify with Trump supporters because I've been there. I mean, with Clinton. I mean, there was just nothing that anybody could say to me about that man about anything. I mean, it was just. He was just it, and I see it now with Trump supporters. The only thing, as I said before, the only thing that saved the day for me with Clinton was that dress that they came forward with. But before that time, you just couldn't tell me anything. Now, I don't want to get bogged down about what's his name, Trump now, but what I want to point out is that, was it a couple of days ago, this man, when people where they're talking about the black vote and he needs to AJ, I call him stepping fetching. AJ is saying that we go down to the black community and bring them in and do this and this and this and this, and then Trump turned around, as he normally does, and does not think to say, well, with the black vote, I'm paraphrasing here. The reason why he's getting the black vote is because the blacks have now seen him in a mugshot. Now, the inference there.
Who said that?
Is that we are a bunch of criminals. No. We are a bunch of criminals, and now we can identify. We can identify with him because we've seen him in a mugshot. He's always saying stupid things.
Street cred.
Crazy things, and nobody wants to admit it or anything because they're so wrapped up in this man. But I'm telling you,
we admit it here on the show. We've talked about the crazy things he said on this show. We've talked about the crazy things.
How can we not?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but he needs to stop. No, the thing about it is. Like
Did you hear his speech last night?
He needs to go. No, I didn't even want to hear his speech because the sound.
Oh, it was a good speech. I think you would have liked it.
Well, no, the sound of his voice upsets me. I want this man.
All right, talk to her, Rob.
I want Clinton.
Talk to her, Rob.
I want Clinton. I want Biden. I want Trump. I want all three of those men locked up. That's what I want. And
so basically, you're not gonna vote in November, then, are you?
I want us to move on. No, I want and
so Ruth, you're not going to vote in November.
All three of those men.
Well,
all three of them.
So you're not going to vote in November then.
Oh no! I'm constantly praying. No. This is not going. It's not going. Listen.
Wait a minute.
Let me tell you something. Something just like Videk of what his name popped up out of from nowhere.
So you go to the poll. You go to the poll November. Ruth, you go to the poll this November, and you got a choice between Biden and Trump. Which one are you going to?
No. Something else is going to happen. Believe me, we're constantly praying.
Something else. Constantly praying.
Neither one of those
you should pray.
men,
That's a good thing. Praying is good.
Neither one of those men will become president of this country.
Neither one.
Believe me. All right. Have a nice day, guys.
Oh.
Okay. Well, thank you for the phone call there. And
Angry after last night. Okay.
it's that TDS that's out there. Yeah. It's a
Hang on one second.
It's a little issue out there. We've got 1 minute. Caller, go ahead. Well, tell us what's on your mind.
Oh, well, what's on my mind is Ruth.
Right.
Well, you got. Unfortunately, you only got about a minute.
Clean, but I tell you, every time that lady calls in, if she couldn't talk about something black, she wouldn't have anything to say. And I'd like to meet her and ask her, well, ma'am, what did you not like about Trump? Was it the lowest employment in recorded history for black folks, or was it the cheap gas, or was it the border that was going up? Which one? What exactly did you not like about that man that you
inflation?
really admire about Joe Biden?
I don't think she likes Biden either, for that matter. But
I kind of like low gas.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when that lady calls in, you can guarantee it's a countdown till she brings up the word black within 5 seconds, and it gets so old. It really does. You talk about a one-track mind.
Yeah. Well, we got to pay some bills here, or else our station will go black. All right, we'll be. All right, or go red or something. All right, we'll be right back. Stay with us. is still the king. Oh, yes. Doesn't matter who's in Austin. All right, and that's a way to honor two men at the same time. Of course, that's Waylon Jennings singing the song Bob Wills is Still the King. And this is the day that Bob Wills was born, back in 1905, considered by music authorities as the co-founder of Western Swing. He was universally known as the king of Western Swing, and so there's a little shout-out to Bob Wills.
The king of Western Swing.
The king of Western Swing.
I've never even heard of Western Swing, so that's a new one to me.
Charles, we realize there's
an education for
if
me.
It's not the Grateful Dead, you haven't heard of it.
That's not quite true. There's the Jerry Garcia Band. Don't forget that.
All right, if it's not the Grateful Dead and the Jerry Garcia Band, then you've never heard.
Couple of
we
others
understand
now,
that. We understand that your horizon is not really that wide. You know, it's not. But that's okay. We're bringing you along. We're introducing you to
one
things.
of God's children. We love him.
We sure love him.
Western Swing.
Western Swing.
Swing.
Mornings. I know where that came from. That started Saturday Night Live, didn't it? Or,
Hey, bada, swing, bada.
Bada. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
It can't.
It's Mornings in Meridian. We'll take a phone call here at our number, 601-485-9191. Roger, Rob, Charles, and now you, caller. Welcome.
I come in peace. Love everyone.
everybody.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Hey,
Got that
Mississippi
right.
James.
How you doing, sir?
Hey, that was a good song there. Just went off with Waylon Jennings.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, I got a couple of notes. Like I say, I don't use the word facts no more because none of us know. You know, we got all been out of shape on what we think we know. So I just compare notes. And the first thing, I know you guys probably discussed it, is about the water in Meridian.
Yes, sir.
Now, I've been watching the last 5-6 years. We've been getting awards for the best water in the country, the state, however far it reach. All of a sudden, we have one person retire. And now we're at crisis. So how do we go? So what happened on that point? One person retired, and we're at crisis level. We need to bring a company in now to manage it. Why not just promote people from within if they part of the team?
Yeah, and I think we brought that question up too, and I think it just boils down to it. From what I understand is Public Works has said that those folks are not properly trained to take over that position just yet of this person that retired. So that's what the council and the Public Works Department has said.
Well, that's bad on them.
Yeah.
Maybe they want to get away from that system.
Yeah.
And, you know, we farm, well, I call it farm out, but it's privatized.
Sure.
When you know, they say, oh, we can save you money by privatizing, but then you lose jobs, you lose just so much. Some things are good to privatize, but you have to sit down and cherry pick what is and what's not.
Yeah, I think when we had David Hodge on here, Public Works Director, it's been a couple of weeks back, he said there are some things that we do contract out, and especially paving projects. That's a pretty big one right there because the city can only manage so much. But yeah, I get it with the water part of it. You'd like to have folks in-house do that instead of contracting more and more and more out. So, but maybe we'll fix that one day.
Yeah, we'll work on it.
Yep.
And the next thing, hey, we moving somewhere in this politics. We're moving somewhere, and I appreciate what Trump brought to the table because it was a corrupt system, and Trump is a con man. So sometimes you take a con man to stop a corrupt system, and then you readjust. And I was a big MAGA supporter for about 2 months. You know, then when my notes, not my facts.
Yeah.
So don't attack me for having an opinion.
I'm glad. Oh no, you're entitled to that, sir. Yes, indeed. I just think it's funny.
Man.
It's funny.
What you say?
I just think it's funny. I just chuckled a little bit.
Yeah, you know, when a system is corrupt and it's like a locomotive, it takes a lot to stop it. And Trump was able to bring it to a screeching halt. Now, where do we go from here? I appreciate him on his part because he saw some of the same problem that I saw, that you saw, and I've been preaching the same thing for the last 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
So when those words came out of his mouth, I said, hey, that's my man.
Well, let me ask you this. Well, in your notes, not in your facts, but in your notes, what is it that makes Trump a con man, other than the fact that he does have a picture in an orange suit? I'd admit that to you, but that's only because of an arrest, not a conviction. But what in your notes makes Trump a con man?
Oh, it go back through his whole career, and I don't have time to break it down on the radio.
Well, all right.
here.
Well, no. I'm driving the radio. I'm giving you plenty of time. Just share with me from your notes what makes Trump a con man.
Well, hold on a minute. Okay. Sorry, but the bus just blew. My wife got to catch the bus.
Okay.
So give me an excuse. I'll call back later.
Okay. All right. The bus just blowed. Okay. Gotcha. All righty. That's kind of what I thought. It's just like,
bus blowing.
It's kind of like even Trump has been guilty of before, throwing terms around easily. But what are the realities behind that? 601-485-9191 is our talk line. Would love to hear from you. Give us a call. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
Morning, boys.
Morning.
Hello, Mr. Gray.
I've been thinking about, it just dawned on me on one of the things on this whole TDS, why some people just absolutely despise Trump. And they come from all walks.
Yeah.
But it just dawned on me. James just brought up the fact that Trump stopped it in its tracks. He will not kowtow to some of the absurdities that the old Republican Guard would allow the Democrats to push by them in order to appease. Trump just won't appease. So everybody's scared of him, and that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. And who more importantly to have scared of you than perhaps maybe your foreign enemies?
Yeah.
Right? Well, but this whole appeasement is become such a flood of what we've done for 20 years. It's got to stop. And Trump represents, I'm going to stop it. And so both sides don't like it because they've been benefiting from it. Anyway, that's just my thoughts, and if y'all agreed with it.
Well, I'm thinking, you're making me think back to Ronald Reagan days. And I remember there was some guy down there in North Africa, Libya, I think it was. And he was just wreaking havoc with sponsoring terrorism and all the rest. Ronald Reagan decided to send a couple of jets over his home and deliver a message on behalf of the United States.
Well, I'm afraid that that's what the world's fixing to have to do with Iran.
Hey.
I mean, I see no way around it. They have not listened or behaved in any manner on any previous attempt from any side of the argument. They refuse to do right. And
there are two nations that Iran would like to see defeated and in rubble. That's one of them is Israel, and the other one is the United States.
Yep.
Correct.
We know this, and we play games with them. Anyway, that's just.
But so them bombing and trying to destroy ships as they go through the channel, and I heard they just sunk one, but they don't always know where those shipping things are going. So they're indiscriminately just trying to cause chaos. They will cause chaos. Look at Hamas.
Mm-hmm.
They knew when they did what they did against Israel that it was going to rain havoc on their own people. And do you think they cared? That's the mentality you're dealing with.
Well, and I use the old approach now. Forgive me if you're a snake lover, but if a rattlesnake is found in my yard, I'm going to go after him, and I'm going to aim for his head. I'm going to aim for his head. I'm not going to try to cut off his rattlers while he's still alive.
Yeah, well, you're right about me picking me as a snake person, because I'll be honest with you. if that rattlesnake is in my house and he's coiled and posed and ready to strike, I'm probably that way. But if he's just in my yard and he decides to get on about his business, he'll go.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem with folks that don't do snakes is they indiscriminately take all kinds.
No, I understand the value. I have king snakes around the area. They're welcome to consider, as long as they don't come in the house. They're welcome to kind of hang out in the yard there. That's no problem. I don't like it. I don't like seeing them. They give me the creeps. They don't eat much. But anyway, of course we digress, because the analogy was, with Iran, you're right. Eventually, you're going to have to do something with the head of the snake.
Well, all right, guys, I'll take some cheese grits and Creole cabbage. I'm out.
We do it. Yeah, come on by.
All right.
How about that? Some
You
cheese
know,
grits.
looking at Hamas.
That does sound good, Rob.
Come on by. 11 o'clock, we're open.
Yeah. There you go. You were going to say something else.
Oh, yeah, just talking about Hamas and this was all designed for the response. They knew exactly what Israel would do. Yeah. Israel stated that's what they would do, and they recorded it all and then released the video. I mean, of course they were poking the bear.
That's it.
They knew exactly how they would respond. I think they were hoping for more international support behind them, which is shifting. They're kind of gaining some of that, but still, I mean, they knew how Israel would respond, and that's why they did it the way they did it. I mean, it was incredibly brutal, and they filmed it all.
Mm-hmm. And
let's not only make it incredibly brutal, but let's make sure that we capture those brutal images,
but it's not almost,
and then release them to the press.
It's not just knowing how they will respond, but Israel had to respond.
Of course,
I mean,
they did.
there was no choice there,
right?
In that
and they've responded the same way for the last 70 years, and they would continue to respond that way. I mean, it was a setup pretty much, but Israel had no choice. I mean, they had to.
Instead of fighting it out in Gaza, I think you need to go to capital of Iran.
Exactly.
What's the capital? Is that Tehran?
It is,
Tehran.
Tomato.
Yeah, it's not tomato.
Tehran.
It's not tomato either.
Tehran and Iran.
It's like, what was it, Obama that said, what was Al Qaeda? And what he always called Iraq,
Iraq,
Iran.
Iraq.
It's always different.
Iraq.
Let's not forget Pakistan.
No, it was the Taliban.
The Taliban and Pakistan.
Well, what's amazing
Taliban is Taliban.
The Iranians just had an election, and the turnout was so low. People aren't supporting that regime. Get rid of the regime. I hate to do this whole nation building thing, but
it's not
in this case, it might be. It's nation destroying.
The citizens of Iran would
they
love
need
to
a hand up.
They would love to be friends with us.
Sure.
The Iranians, they would love it. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back. Tommy Duncan sing.
I'm not going to sing it.
Sing it, Charles.
New York got the ways and means and just won't let you
Maybe this would be a good theme song for Trump. Keep on trucking.
Could be.
Because that's what he's doing.
They might object. I don't think that they'd be big fans of his.
Probably not.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I just can't wait till. Never mind. I'm the only one go there. 601-485-9191. Roger, along with Rob.
It's been a fantastic morning.
It's been a good morning. And we're just about 7 minutes away from Nikki Haley taking the stage in South Carolina and giving up her...
Quitting.
I
quit.
think it's something
And
like
enough
that.
of this stuff.
And that's the Grateful Dead. I thought I'd play something for Charles. A little something for you.
Trying to make up for something,
Let's thank another one of our sponsors. What about glass repair? Is that?
That's it. A&A.
A&A. I no longer cuss when that rock hits my windshield.
That's probably not true. But anyway, we will go with that story.
Because I don't have to, because I know exactly where to go when that windshield gets hit. I just go to A&A Glass and they make it right.
That's right. Just give them a call, 601-693-GLASS. That's easy to remember. Or go see him, 217 22nd Avenue, or we could call it Sela Ward.
Calhoun Parkway.
That's the one. We know where it is, just 2 doors down from the Meridian Children's Museum. The beautiful Sela Ward, Calhoun Parkway. Nicely redone.
We're going to get a note from the city.
I think Sela Ward's going to send us a
you're
note.
gonna get
It
a
is
note.
not Sela Ward Calhoun.
You're going to get a note from Sela or from Ward.
Yeah, or both.
I
maybe.
don't care.
Yeah, well. All right.
Okay.
Anyway, A&A Glass,
A&A
the only place
Glass.
to go. They've been doing it right for over 10 years. They've been the #1 glass replacement company here in town, as voted by the readers of the Meridian Star, that they are the #1. And so, go see them. They're open 8 to 4, Monday through Friday. They must be doing something right. And, of course, they'll work with your insurance company. They're fast, friendly, and efficient. And, of course, if it's just a crack, a little peck, they can fix that part. Or if it gets to be a bigger crack, then they'll replace the whole windshield. They got them in stock. They are just ready to go. Give them a call today, 601-693-GLASS, or go see them at 217 22nd Avenue. We'll just leave it at that. Open 8 to 4, Monday through Friday. A&A Glass.
A&A Glass. That's the name you need. That's the initials you need to know for glass repair.
The letters. That's it.
That's the letters.
A&A.
All right, we got some background noise on our phone line. Caller, please turn down your. Yeah, that thing. Good morning. You're on the air.
Well, folks, you proved a point to me, guys.
Hey, Sheriff.
Y'all proved a point. I retire, and it takes 25 minutes for you to answer my phone.
That's Roger, not us. I would answer it immediately.
Who is
Just for the record.
who is this again?
Who is this again?
Oh,
Citizen Solly.
oh! You got to turn your radio down, Citizen Solly.
I ain't got no radio on, sir.
I don't know. I guess we're getting one of those echo phone calls. Oh yeah.
Hands free, sir, for safety.
Yeah.
I was just calling, Roger, to let you know I thought about you this past Friday.
Okay.
We were flying from Miami back into Houston, and the pilot came over the PA system in one of them 737s.
Yep.
And announced to us, "Don't panic." When we got to Houston, and we saw all the fire trucks, that we were not on fire.
Oh man. We're getting an echo here. You keep talking, Sheriff, because when we talk, there's an echo.
Uh-oh. Is that any better, sir?
Oh, let's see here. Test. Test.
Wow.
Oh man, we are good to go. Yeah, this is great. Yeah, please continue.
Yeah, but the pilot announced to everybody that when we got to Houston and we saw the fire trucks, don't panic.
Yeah.
We were not on fire. That his co-pilot was retiring, and that was his last flight.
Oh yeah, they do the little archway of water and wash it down as they go through. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's great.
Yep, thought about you when all that was going on.
Now, what part made you think about me? The fire trucks?
Tiring.
Just about everything, sir.
Mr. Solly, have you heard us say Sela Ward Calhoun Parkway?
That sounds good.
There we go.
It flows.
As long as he likes it, we're good.
Oh, man. Well, welcome back. I guess then you weren't in town then for, I didn't see you at the Fleetwood Mac tribute concert.
No, sir. I was probably in Cozumel at that point in time.
If one has to be.
Yeah.
Or it might have been Belize, or it might have been down in Colombia.
Oh.
Okay, now I hate you.
Yeah.
Well, somebody's got to tow their luggage.
Somebody's got to tow their luggage.
Well, that's a good point. But if you need a break, let me know. I'll go carry the luggage. Shoot, that's no problem.
There you go. Now, guys, again, we were very lucky this past Friday night, sir.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Just real quickly, how many officer-involved shootings have occurred in Meridian and Lauderdale County in the last 12 months?
I don't have that number.
4.
Wow.
And of the 4, 3 officers were actually shot.
Ooh, yes, yes. That's 4 too many, Sheriff.
Absolutely. So, you guys keep your thoughts and prayers for our men and women that put on that uniform every day and go out there not knowing if they're going to go home.
Absolutely. Amen to that. Very good. Well, listen, I feel bad that retirement seems to be taking its toll on you, having to be resorted to a baggage handler for Mrs. Solly.
Also, a word of advice: if you go on a cruise, don't get sick because the infirmary is expensive.
Oh, they charge you for the infirmary?
Now, wait a minute. You got sick?
Well, I caught the head cold that's going around.
Yeah.
And head colds and flying don't go well.
Oh, I see. I see.
Causes your ears to stop up.
Yeah. So you got to get some steroids there to kind of relieve the pressure.
The doctor gave me a Z-Pack and a $200 bottle of Flonase.
Wow.
I would have taken the $300 shot of steroids. But there you go.
$200 bottle of scotch, man.
You know, I can't imagine. You know, here's the thing about it. Okay, people spend this money. They get on a ship with 4,000 other people from all different parts of the world and country, and they're surprised they get a cold. They're surprised they get something.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, actually, I mean, I caught it on the way down there. Our flight down to Miami when I started feeling pain.
Oh, okay. Well, you got that before you left town, then.
Yes, sir.
Well, listen, you know what the clock says. Even if we don't hang up, the computer's going to turn us off anyway.
Absolutely. So. Have a
be listening,
and I'll be back in touch.
Be listening because every once in a while Rob throws out the Solly signal.
That's right.
There you go.
All right. All right.
Take care.
Thank you for the phone call. And that's it for the show. Tomorrow, we're going to have Tom Williams from the Meridian Airport Authority. He's going to come in and talk about what's going on out at Key Field.
Yep, and Nikki Haley's going to speak in moments.
We'll follow up on that tomorrow. Charles, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Say goodbye, Rob.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. Remember, buy local.